and welcome to day 4 of my curriculum week. So far, we have talked about group subjects, my first grader, my third grader, and so now it's time to talk about my 10th grader. So by far, this is the least amount of stuff I have to show you because a lot of his stuff is online. First of all, if you are new, hi, my name is Brittany. I am a homeschool mom to 4 kids, ages, let's go grades, 10th grade, 3rd grade, 1st grade, and preschool / K4. So my high schooler, it's really weird for me to say that he is in 10th grade, but he is. So my approach with my 10th grader, before I start going into what he is doing, and you can probably tell from, I don't know how I'm going to title this video, but we are using actually a secular curriculum, which I mentioned this last year because this is our second year using it. If you would have asked me, hold on, I don't know if you can hear that. Let me go close the door. Okay, filming during screen time. So you have to forgive me. I had to go close the door. So, as I was saying, if you would have asked me a couple of years ago if I would use a secular curriculum, the answer would have been absolutely not. Because I had this thought that I wanted them completely educated from a Christian perspective. That was it. But I've had kind of a revelation of my kids are not always going to be kids. They are going to go out into the real world and they're going to be exposed to things. They're going to be exposed to different ideas, different ways of thinking, different theories that may come up that if I have not properly equipped them to engage with, then they aren't going to be able to defend it. It's one thing to use a Christian curriculum and have it given to you as an idea that is completely bogus and completely out there and no way that it could possibly be true, and then have to hear it later on presented as fact. I just believe that if we don't allow our kids to see what the world is going to tell them while they are under our roof, we are kind of doing a disservice to them because they will not be able to engage with the world's ideologies properly. And that's my opinion. You are free to have a different opinion, but that is why we have made the decision to use a secular curriculum with our high schooler, because I want him to be able to hear what the world is going to say to him as he goes on to either higher education or he engages with other people who are taught differently, and be able to defend his position properly. That is why I am very strongly opinionated when it comes to teaching your kids logic, like not just to speak logically, to think logically, but actually having a logic course that is required for all of my kids before they leave our house. They have to go through the full logic course, and they also have to do something that I am going to show you in a minute. I want them to have read an entire series before they leave our home, in addition to having taken several courses from a secular perspective. So that is where I'm coming from. Okay, now, goodness gracious, Brittany, what are you using? So we are doing Acellus. So Acellus is a full curriculum. It is all online and it offers absolutely everything that you could possibly need. They will even, if you do the accredited version, they will even mail you a diploma when you have finished. Now, as I have done Acellus, this is our 2nd year doing it, do I believe that Acellus is enough on its own? Yes and no. I would say it depends on the student. It depends on what the student is doing after they are done with Acellus. Would I just use Acellus by itself? Probably not. Because even my current 10th grader, who is probably leaning more towards either one of the trades or I think he's kind of gotten away from the idea of the military. That was what he was thinking of initially. or the police force. Those are kind of in his wheelhouse of careers that he would be really good at and that he would really enjoy. Even still, I don't think that I would want him to just do Acellus by itself. While it does a good job in teaching a lot of things, it does not cover enough reading, in my opinion. So one of the things that we are doing, I am making sure to add in some assigned reading that I am going to have him do. I do want him to write some papers based off of his reading that he has done. I would like him to do a couple of essays for me, specifically talking about his science, trying to defend his position as a Christian, to be able to refute the things that he is learning from a secular perspective that he is learning. So what he is doing there, he is currently in 10th grade. So he has geometry, he is doing world history, he is doing English 2, Spanish, AP drawing. I think he's doing a coding class. I think he's doing Java. And one more. I can't remember what it is. I'll put it down here when I look it up. The good thing is that it does not take him very long to finish all of his Acellus work, and so it gives him ample time to do the other things that I have requested that he do, like his extra reading that I am having him do. So the course that I am requiring all of my kids to go through, the series that they have to read, he currently has it with him. He is at his dad's for the month of August, and he currently has it with him because he's doing all of his schoolwork over there too. And so he is going through the New Answers book that is put out by Master Books. He is going through book 1. He will do book 1 and part of book 2 this year, and then he will finish up book 2 over the summer and part of next year, and then do book 3 and start book 4. So that way he's finishing the entire series. I think I have the first 3, but I will get the 4th one next year. He will finish the entire series by the time he leaves this house. By the time I don't know if he's actually moving out when he turns 18 or if he's going to do trade school. By the time he turns 18, let me put it that way. By the time he turns 18, he will have done the entire series. And so it covers things like, is evolution a religion? When does life begin? Archaeology, Egyptian chronology and the flood. Could early biblical figures like Noah really live to over 900 years? What was the Star of Bethlehem? The evolutionization of our culture, and different things like that. And so the first one covers more, carbon dating, radiometric dating, different things like that they might encounter, especially as they are doing things like chemistry. And he encountered some things with biology that we had some discussions, that provided some good discussions, in world history that he's doing from a secular perspective, which I've mentioned in my group subjects. He does sit in for our Biblioplan history. It is written for younger kids, but it's from a Christian perspective. He has also been homeschooled since he was in 2nd grade. And so he has heard history and science from a Christian perspective his entire upbringing. And it's stuff that we love to talk about. The other thing I am having him do, I did get, is Chemistry 101. This is in addition to the chemistry he is doing through Acellus. So I am doing this for 2 reasons. Oh, he's doing chemistry and physics this year. He will do chemistry next year, physics the following year. They have it set up as a group course because their chemistry is fairly intensive. So for 2 reasons, because I heard the chemistry was intense, I wanted him to have a secondary video-based chemistry for him to really kind of to drive home. And then also, this is Chemistry 101, chemistry from a biblical perspective. They also have Biology 101. So if you were to have the same thought process as me when it comes to your high schooler and want to do this approach, you could very easily get the Biology 101 and pair this along with it. He does this for 20 minutes once a week. That's how long we have to do it to get through the entire video curriculum in a year. So it's not like it's doing curricula. It's not like it's doing 2 different programs. You are doing just 20 minutes a week with the video, and it gives them the counterpoint to what they're hearing from the secular perspective. And I feel like between doing that and then also doing this and then also hearing history from a biblical perspective with his younger siblings, he's getting a very well-rounded view, and it makes it to where he is very much prepared to go out into the real world and hear whatever it is they're going to tell him, you know? So let's see, what else is he doing? He also just completed driver's ed. So that is pretty much, this is like the bulk of everything that he's done and is doing. He just completed his driver's ed course, and so we are practicing driving. We are learning how to drive, and that is so crazy to me. So he did that all completely online, and you know, I taught him. He did it on the computer, and so I am teaching him as far as driving goes. He is very excited about turning 16 and being able to start working part-time. That is another thing that I didn't want to overload his schedule with a bunch of extra stuff either, because he does have every intention. I truly believe that kids should be working when they turn 16. That's our view with our home. And so when he turns 16 in December, after he gets his license, he will start looking for a part-time job. And so I am wanting to make sure that I don't overload his schedule too much, so he can still have enough time to do everything he needs to do and still be able to do what he wants to do, which is work part-time. So if you're curious on what all I have done with my other kids, I don't know if I said this yet already, but I will have everything linked down in the description box for everything I'm doing with my other kids and our group subjects. The only thing that isn't posted at this point should be my preschool video, which will be coming hopefully tomorrow, if I am still on track on my schedule, which I think I will be. We'll see. But that is all I have for my 10th grader, and until next time, bye.